Keeping a close eye on your forecast, and temperatures across the southeast are toasty right now, but an overnight cold front bringing in a little bit of relief. I'll be talking more about your forecast details coming up.
Plus, severe weather continues to strike the middle of the country. We're taking a look at the damage coming up.
Weather. Fox 10 Midday starts now.
Well, hello everyone, and thanks for welcoming us into your homes on this Tuesday. You're watching Fox 10 Midday. I'm Ashlyn Mitchell.
And I'm Jennifer Lambers.
And as always, Jen, let's take a look at our forecast to kick things off. If we can get through the next day, we should be golden, right?
That is exactly right. And so right now what we're doing is taking a look at conditions across the southeast. Just starting to see some of that sunshine out there, a little bit of that cloud cover, but things are calm and quiet for right now. Now, as you get further along into the rest of today, we have about a 20% chance to see a pop-up shower or thunderstorm just beginning to move through, but this is all ahead of what we're anticipating for tonight. Now, if you look closer towards our Mississippi counties, Georgia and Greene counties, you're starting to see a little bit of green beginning to move through there. Isolated sprinkles possible for today, but a little bit more cloud cover as we take a look over downtown Mobile from our Navigator Credit Union camera at the Battleship. Those winds, they're breezy out of the south. Wind gusts today getting closer towards 25 miles per hour. But again, it's out of the south, so it's increasing that humidity. Feels like temperatures right now 95. It's warm, but the actual air temperature just seeing a range of those lower to mid 80s out there. Even a few isolated upper 80s, especially closer towards Calvert. But taking a look at the feels like temperatures once you take the humidity into account, everywhere feeling more like the lower to mid 90s. Now that Milton sensor always likes to be a little bit dramatic out there, likely more feeling like the mid 90s. Now making our way into the rest of today, daytime highs maxing out upper 80s, feeling more like the upper 90s. It only continues heading into tonight. Look at 9 o'clock, still feeling like the upper 80s. But here's a look at conditions across the southeast. Now, if you look closer towards Oklahoma, Arkansas, even Memphis, you can start to see some of the 60s and the 70s. There's that cold front that's going to be pushing closer towards us. Now, unfortunately, it's not going to be bringing in some cooler air. Instead, what it will be bringing in is drier air. And what that's going to be helping out with is our heat index, our feels like temperatures feeling how it should, feeling more like the mid to upper 80s. And we could see some nice, more of those refreshing mornings as we're starting off in comparison to what we have been feeling. Now, I'm going to talk more about your forecast, what I'm tracking over the next few days, especially as we approach closer towards the holiday weekend. All of those details are coming up in just a little bit. Ashlyn.
Jen, thank you. Well, right now we're taking a look at this wild video caught on camera. It's lightning striking a police cruiser in Newcastle, Oklahoma. The strike happening yesterday evening as strong storms moved across parts of the state. Newcastle Emergency Management, though, says thankfully no one was hurt. What a crazy scene there in Oklahoma. But that's not all. That lightning strike is part of a nasty severe weather system striking the U.S. At least 28 people are dead from scores of tornadoes that started Friday. Meteorologists report dangerous supercell storms yesterday, and now they say millions of people are at risk today, as Amy Kiley reports.
A weather system responsible for powerful tornadoes and dangerous supercells is moving east today. Forecasters say the Mid-South is the epicenter with risks to surrounding states. They predict a chance of supercell thunderstorms. Those can last for hours due to an updraft rotation, according to the National Weather Service. Forecasters say other risks today include flash floods, strong tornadoes, and very large hail. That includes in some areas still recovering after roughly 100 tornadoes struck the central and eastern U.S. in recent days.
It seemed like a longer time, but it was probably seconds. My family went to the corner of the closet, and I was in front of the door holding it as I could hear the noise and the pressure on the door.
More than 24 people are dead as a result of that weather. Kentucky reports the most fatalities, and it's in the crosshairs again today.
He wrapped himself around my sister. I guess when the tornado hit, that it just separated them.
The St. Louis mayor says human error hindered tornado sirens Friday. Now she says the city is ready for this next round of weather.
Our fire department will be moving forward with the role of making sure that that is deployed from this point forward.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
In the meantime, Louisiana State Police say they've captured a fourth escaped inmate. 20-year-old Gary C. Price was taken into custody last night. Officials say Price was found in an abandoned house in New Orleans. Now, Price had been jailed for attempted first-degree murder when he and 10 other inmates escaped from the New Orleans Justice Center last Friday. 6 other inmates remain on the loose, and a massive search is underway now to find them. Investigators are now trying to determine how the jailbreak happened, what went wrong, and who is responsible. Meanwhile, Iran's supreme leader says his country won't ask for anyone's permission for uranium enrichment. Khamenei spoke Tuesday during a ceremony to commemorate late President Ebrahim Raisi, who died in a helicopter crash last year. He urged U.S. negotiators to stop talking, quote, nonsense, saying nobody is waiting for permission from them. The Islamic Republic has a policy, a method that it will keep pursuing, end quote. He said he doesn't know what will happen with negotiations with the U.S., but doesn't expect them to lead to any result. Well, just a few hours after a phone call with his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin, President Trump announced talks between Russia and Ukraine will start immediately. But that's not stopping Putin from escalating his attacks on Ukraine. The Ukrainian government says more than 100 drones were launched overnight, and more than a dozen civilians have died in the last day alone. As the attacks intensify, the president is giving more hints that he could soon walk away from the bargaining table.
This isn't our war. This is not my war. This is not the war. I mean, we got ourselves entangled in something that we shouldn't have been involved in.
Moscow is also insisting on preconditions Ukraine says are non-starters, like recognizing captured territory as Russian and withdrawing Ukrainian troops from the front lines. The Russians now say there should be no fixed deadline to find an agreement, but with Trump saying time is running out, Europe is stepping up. Ukrainian officials say a high-level meeting between Ukraine, Russia, the EU, and U.S. could help restart the peace process. Now, back here in our country, President Donald Trump took a trip to Capitol Hill this morning to urge Republican holdouts to fall in line with his big, beautiful bill, a major piece of legislation centered on Trump's key policies. No Democrats are expected to support this bill, and Fox's Rebecca Castor explains why some GOP lawmakers have problems with it, too.
Mr. President! President Donald Trump is on a mission Tuesday morning, dropping by Capitol Hill to convince Republican holdouts to support his big, beautiful bill.
Yeah, that was a meeting of love. Let me tell you, that was love in that room.
The bill is Trump's entire domestic policy wrapped into one piece of legislation. It includes more than $5 trillion in tax cuts, no tax on tips or overtime, boosts border security, and adds work requirements to food assistance programs and Medicaid.
The only thing we're cutting is waste, fraud, and abuse.
House Republicans are trying to jam this reckless and extreme budget down the throats of the American people and hide what's in it.
Democrats are adamantly opposed to limiting access to welfare programs. Therefore, Republicans have almost 0 votes to spare. But it's still been a tug of war between those who think the budget cuts don't go far enough and others who want bigger breaks for high-tax states.
If we get the cuts as much as I hope so that we won't continue to have a downgrade, I'm all in.
Trump wants this done by Memorial Day, and if he moved the needle enough, lawmakers could vote on it as early as tomorrow.
The House Republican Conference is excited. Multiple standing ovations. They love this president.
The price tag for this bill is steep, though. A nonpartisan fiscal watchdog group estimates it will add roughly $3.3 trillion to the national debt over the next decade, a major sticking point for GOP fiscal hawks. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Also this morning, victims of explicit deepfakes are now protected by federal law. President Donald Trump, alongside the First Lady, signed the Take It Down Act yesterday. The new law will criminalize the sharing of non-consensual explicit deepfakes. Those are images where a person's face is superimposed on a nude body using artificial intelligence without their permission. The president says anyone convicted of intentionally distributing these types of images without the subject's consent will face time in prison.
We will not tolerate online sexual exploitation, and especially it's gone on at levels that nobody's ever seen before. It's getting worse and worse, and I think this is going to hopefully stop it.
The legislation will also require tech platforms to take an active role in combating the issue, requiring them to remove such images within 48 hours of being notified by them. First Lady Melania Trump said the law was a powerful first step in protecting America's youth. Well, in your local headlines now, residents in a Midtown Mobile neighborhood are calling for more police patrols, cameras, and better lighting after weeks of gunfire. The latest incident left Matthew Delaney hospitalized. We're told he was hit by a stray bullet outside his home on Foreman Circle. His family says he was shot in the face while on the phone. Neighbors there report at least 4 separate shootings in the past month, with shell casings found in the street and online threats circulating. Police are investigating, but no arrests have been made. If you have any information, call Mobile Police right away. In the meantime, public safety is going to be a hot topic in this year's mayoral election in Mobile. Many of the candidates already weighing in on some of those issues. You have a chance to hear from them tonight at a mayor's forum. Organizers say it will include all 7 announced candidates. Mobile County Commissioner Connie Hudson, former Mobile County Commissioner and Councilman Steve Nodine, former Mobile Police Chief Paul Prine, Strickland Youth Center Deputy Administrator Lawrence Batiste, former District Court Judge Spiro Chirigatis, Alabama State Representative Barbara Drummond, and former Mobile City Councilman Jermaine Burrell. This forum is being put on by Mobile Historic Districts, the Government Street Collaborative, and the Mobile Historical Development Commission. The forum is being held from 6 to 8 p.m. tonight at Dauphin Way Baptist Church in Mobile. Well, straight ahead on Fox 10 Midday, a groundbreaking for the new Civic Center is being held this week. We have those details. Plus, with the Memorial Day weekend coming up, a Memorial Day tradition is happening right now in Pensacola as people are helping to honor our fallen heroes. Jen, folks should pack lots of water if they're doing those honor walks today.
That is exactly right. Things are toasty out there. The humidity not helping us, but some changes are on the way overnight. But as you do take a live look outside down on Dauphin Island, seeing some peaks of sunshine, mainly some of that cloud cover, winds a little breezy. And over the next 5 hours, those temperatures are warm on Dauphin Island. Some high humidity and some mostly sunny skies. But I'm going to talk more about your long range forecast coming up when we come back.
It's a Memorial Day tradition as people from across the nation carry the load to honor our fallen heroes. One of the walks in our area started this morning in Pensacola. That's where we find our Dacian Smith live this morning. And Dacian, people taking part this morning are on a 5-mile mission, right?
Hey, Ashlyn, that's absolutely right. That walk is going to cover a few different stops here in Pensacola, but it's all for a good cause, as you mentioned, remembering those who made the ultimate sacrifice to protect our freedoms here in the United States. Now, Carry the Load has been doing this. They've been holding these remembrance walks as part of their Memorial May across the country, and they made 4 stops in Georgia before making their way to Pensacola this morning. Now, earlier today, a few walkers set off from the Home Depot over on North Davis Highway to start the first leg of that walk, which was about 5.5 miles or so. They walked from the Home Depot on North Davis Highway before making their way to the Veterans Memorial Park, where I'm here right now. And while they were at the park, some more walkers joined up. They registered. They were able to sign a banner, say who they were carrying the load for, whether that be a family member, a friend who served, someone who paid that ultimate price. They were also able to walk around this park, kind of take in some of the history, learn something about it, and learn about the upcoming Memorial Day ceremony that's happening on Sunday before getting together in a circle to kind of share stories about who they're carrying the load for. Carry the Load was also able to share some information about their mission. 93% of the funds that they raise during these remembrance walks goes towards different nonprofit organizations, all with the same goal of helping veterans with some of the resources that they need once they finish their service. They did set off from here at Veterans Memorial Park probably about a half hour or so ago. They're on their way up 9th Avenue towards Pensacola Blue Wahoo Stadium. They should be there around 11. Of course, I'm going to head over there, catch up with some of those folks, show you some more stories later on today about who they're carrying the load for, what this event means, and the purpose behind it all. Of course, we'll have more for you coming up later on at 4 and 5 o'clock. But for now, live in Pensacola, Dacian Smith, Fox 10 News.
I hope it's a great turnout there. Thank you, Dacian. Well, Carry the Load will continue later this afternoon in the Mobile and Baldwin County areas. There will be a walk at Battleship Memorial Park. Check-in is at 3:30 p.m. and everyone is invited. In the meantime, big things happening here in the Port City. It's another groundbreaking for the city of Mobile. City leaders say the official start of construction for the new Mobile Arena kicks off tomorrow. The state-of-the-art venue will be built at the site of the former Mobile Civic Center. The city says it will bring entertainment acts, plus provide space for lots of local events like Mardi Gras balls. The groundbreaking again is set for tomorrow morning at the future site of the arena on Civic Center Drive. Welcome back. May is Safe Kids Month, a time to bring awareness to unintentional injuries, which are a leading cause of death among kids and youth ages 17 and younger. According to the CDC, many of these injuries are preventable. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither talks to a child safety expert about 5 of the top dangers to children and how you can avoid them.
It's been called the 100 deadliest days of summer. Between May and August, the Safe Kids Worldwide organization says 41% of all unintentional injury deaths happen.
Kids are often out of school, often outside more, and it means that they can come into contact with certain dangerous conditions more often.
Dr. Sadiqa Kendi says parents should be aware of 5 danger zones that can put children at risk, especially in summer months. The first, a vehicle. Make sure your child is in the proper car seat and that it's installed correctly, and never leave them alone in a car.
Especially when it's warm, it can actually heat up very quickly and children can die.
The next danger, water. It only takes seconds for a drowning to happen, and it's often silent. Kendi suggests having a water watcher when kids are swimming, and for those who can't swim or swim well, she says keep them at arm's length. And if on a boat, a U.S. Coast Guard approved life jacket should be worn at all times. Third, dangers at home. That can be things like securing furniture to prevent tip overs, keeping out of reach choking, and other hazards like button batteries and laundry packets. Fourth, play. Anytime children are riding a bike or scooter, Kendi says they need to wear well-fitting safety gear. And finally, sleeping spaces can also be dangerous, especially for infants.
Ensuring that they are going to sleep on their back, that there's nothing in the crib or bassinet other than just the baby, their crib, and a fitted sheet.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Lots of great reminders there. Well, straight ahead on Fox 10 Midday, gas prices are set to be the cheapest for the holiday weekend in years. We're breaking it down. Plus, more travelers are booking Viking cruises. We'll have that story and more in your business headlines. The time is 11:27 on your Tuesday. We'll be back with more Fox 10 Midday after this.
To you, this is Fox 10 Midday.
Welcome back. Some good news for Home Depot shoppers. Honda is pulling back on EVs. Regional tech hubs are losing talent, and more travelers are booking Viking cruises. Let's bring in Fox's CJ Papa with today's newest business headlines.
Home Depot shoppers might not be seeing higher prices because of tariffs. Its recent quarter was mixed. Its earnings were disappointing, though revenue was better than expected, helped by its customers taking on smaller home improvement projects. Honda is scaling back on electric vehicles and will focus on hybrids. Honda has slashed planned investment in electrification and software. The Japanese automaker plans to launch 13 hybrid models globally in the coming years. The Wall Street Journal says Austin, Texas may be losing its reign as a tech hub. A report from venture capital firm Signal Fire says big tech and startup employment declined in Austin last year. It grew in San Francisco and New York. Work on artificial intelligence is centered in Silicon Valley. Also, living costs fluctuate in Austin, and employees are dealing with in-office work requirements. And luxury river cruise company Viking says demand for its cruise vacations continues to rise. Capacity is up 12% for this year's season compared to a year ago. Viking says 92% of its capacity for this year is already booked, effectively selling it out for the year. CJ Papa, Fox News.
And new this morning, a Georgia state judge says Delta Airlines can seek legal action against CrowdStrike after a computer outage led to 7,000 flight cancellations last year. The judge says Delta may attempt to prove gross negligence by the cybersecurity company for forcing a potentially defective update on its customers, leading to a worldwide outage of millions of Microsoft computers. CrowdStrike has admitted it did something, quote, horribly wrong, but the company's attorney says there is no merit to Delta's case. In the meantime, a vacation rental company rolling out technology to shut down disruptive partying this summer. Airbnb says it is using its proprietary anti-party technology for listings all across the country. The technology will not allow certain bookings over Memorial Day and the 4th of July. Airbnb says its goal is to reduce the risk of disruptive parties. The company says it will consider venue, length of stay, distance, and whether the reservation was made last minute to then determine if the guest will be allowed to book a property. Airbnb says anyone who is blocked from booking will still have the ability to reserve another location. The company adds 51,000 people in the U.S. were stopped from booking home listings on both holiday weekends last year. All right, Jen, thank you. And with Memorial Day right around the corner, grills, pools, and more are preparing for their time to shine. But all the fun in the sun, as we know, can come with health risks for man and man's best friend. Veterinarians are revealing how pet owners can keep their dogs safe this summer. Fox News reports.
Temperatures continue creeping up as the unofficial start of summer quickly approaches. But it's not just people bracing for the sizzle, with veterinary experts issuing big warnings for pet owners heading into the dog days of summer.
Heat is actually a really big killer.
While Dr. Deb Zoran of Texas A&M University says it's critical dogs stay active year-round.
That helps their mental health, that helps their physical health.
In the summer, she recommends exercising them early or later in the day. This can prevent their fur from absorbing heat from direct sunlight and keep the bottoms of their paws from burning.
100-degree heat's going to make a surface that's black, like asphalt surface, blacktop, going to make it 120 degrees.
But hot air is just as dangerous as scorching pavement.
Most of their cooling is through panting. And so when they're panting and breathing in hot air, they're not cooling as efficiently.
Because dogs pant naturally, it's important to watch if your pet is going into overdrive.
Their tongue will get longer out of their mouths. The next sign for you is that tongue starts to widen, trying to not only move more air across it and remove more heat out.
Owners who see these signs are advised to get their dogs inside a cool location fast.
Cooling and running water over their hair is not that helpful. It's over the hairless areas on their undersides, it's in their mouth through drinking, and it's cool air.
Gary Baumgarten, Fox News.
Well, there's good news for the projected 39.4 Americans expected to hit the road this Memorial Day. Filling up for the trip is going to be cheap. According to Gas Buddy, the average price of a gallon of gas is expected to be $3.08. That's the lowest price this time of year since 2021 and much lower than 3 years ago when it was $4.60. If you consider inflation, it's the cheapest gas has been since 2003 if you exclude the COVID-19 pandemic. To a large degree, you can thank President Donald Trump. But the decline isn't due to his drill baby drill rallying cry. It's because Trump put pressure on OPEC to increase oil production. And currently in Mobile County, the average price of gas is at $2.76. Baldwin County, a couple of cents more at $2.79. Both averages are a tick higher than the state's average at $2.75. Well, coming up, Starbucks is revealing its summer menu. I'm excited for this one. Plus, Dairy Queen helps plan a wedding after the bride and groom's last name is the same as a Dairy Queen favorite. We'll have those stories and much more when we return on Fox 10 Midday. Now, this is a precious story. In North Texas, a match made in dessert heaven caught the attention of Dairy Queen.
I love this. So meet Mr. and Mrs. Blizzard. Yes, that is their real last name.
Wow. When Dairy Queen found out about their upcoming nuptials, the company stepped in to help make their engagement and wedding even sweeter.
They got a dreamy photo shoot at a DQ in Dallas and custom merch for their bachelor and bachelorette parties.
That's incredible. Then Dairy Queen served up blizzards instead of a traditional wedding cake at the couple's reception.
Love it. Now that is what you call a sweet love story.
I love that. Did y'all do anything like this for your wedding? Any personal touches that just meant a lot to you guys, food-wise, or?
I don't think so. I think the coolest thing that we did, though, was that we did have an ice cream truck
That
at
is
ours.
fun. See, I missed that because I had to leave early, but I also have a pretty similar story. So right after we got engaged, we went to Chick-fil-A, and Chick-fil-A was a place we went our entire relationship while we were dating. We also served Chick-fil-A at our wedding, but they gave us free milkshakes, and we made it on the Chick-fil-A social media page for all Chick-fil-A's, which was amazing.
I would say that was me and Cole's first date, too.
Really?
Chick-fil-A, yeah.
Listen, we don't know what is in the air at Chick-fil-A, but they're doing great.
There you go.
Well, with summer around the corner, Starbucks is the latest beverage or fast food chain to roll out a limited time menu.
Excited about this one. The coffee chain is offering some new items, including the iced horchata oat milk shaken espresso.
And fan favorites return with summer berries Starbucks refreshers. Those are my favorite.
And I know that this is also going to be a hit one, too. In addition to the new drinks, a new version of the strawberries and cream cake pop is back. My daughter will love that.
Still have yet to try that one. Now, the new summer menu kicks off Tuesday and will continue while supplies last. Starbucks has also joined forces with Brazilian fashion brand Farm Rio on a drinkware collection. Jen, speaking of grabbing that refresher or summer drink, today is a great time to do that.
That is exactly right. Stick to the ice drinks for today. Just something to help cool you down. That'll be the best option. But just a reminder, a great way to also stay updated with the forecast is by downloading the Fox 10 weather app. That way you know what's going on, all of those changes that we're tracking out there, especially with that cold front moving in overnight and some changes on the way heading into tomorrow. Plus also it's a holiday weekend. So a reminder, you can also look at our hourly forecast and also our daily forecast based on your location, radar and futurecast right in the palm of your hand. Let's go ahead and take a deeper dive in your forecast and what I'm tracking out there. Live view from our Navigator Credit Union camera over downtown Mobile. Just starting to see some cloud cover out there. Those winds are breezy out of the south, but the temperatures are resting in the mid 80s, feeling more like the mid 90s. Now you can start to see those winds south-southeast around 11 miles per hour. That's sustained 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's a look at those wind gusts. West Mobile gusting up to 24. Also seeing Bay Minette gusting up to 22 and Gulf Shores at 20. So it's still breezy out there. Just keep that in mind for the remainder of today. Those temperatures currently just resting in a range of the 80s. Lower 80s for the immediate coastline, mid to upper 80s as you travel further inland. No 90s just yet, but we'll see more of those heading into this afternoon. But do keep in mind the heat index, the feels like temperatures right now, just starting to see more of those upper 90s. It's toasty out there. Only going to continue heading into the rest of today. Stay cool, find some shade, take breaks if you're outside. Improvements on the way tomorrow. I'll have a final look at your 10-day outlook coming up in just a little bit. We'll also be back with 3 to know before you go. We'll be back after this.
Priceless and pricey artifacts. Today we've got them both. And take a look at this. Patrick Cornell shows us some incredible recently recovered antiquities.
A 100-year-old piece of history has been discovered lurking in the waters of Lake Michigan. An avid fisherman spotted the wreckage of the J.C. Ames sitting a mere 9 feet below the surface. The Wisconsin Historical Society says the vessel was constructed in 1881 to haul lumber. This photo from 1910 shows the boat in action crossing underneath a bridge in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The J.C. Ames was scuttled in 1923 off the coast of Manitowoc, where it remained for more than a century before being rediscovered. It turns out you can put a price on history. This double pedestal lamp designed by legendary architect Frank Lloyd Wright just sold at a Sotheby's auction for nearly $7.5 million, reportedly a record-breaking price for a piece of Wright's work. It's one of two double pedestal lamps Wright designed in 1903 for the Susan Lawrence Dana House in Springfield, Illinois. Its partner still resides with the Dana Thomas House Foundation. Part of the genius, using an electric light bulb in the lamp, which, at the time, was pretty new tech. This precious family heirloom popped up in the parking lot of a North Carolina Starbucks of all places. Lori Rue spotted the 1938 Virginia Tech class ring sitting on the pavement and assumed the nearly 90-year-old relic was a prized possession.
So it just didn't feel right to get rid of it or sell it or give it away.
Rue, apparently an internet super sleuth too, found a picture of Larry Garst wearing the ring in his obituary. She was able to track down Larry's daughter, who says the ring originally belonged to Larry's dad.
I really feel like it was serendipitous that my dad was reaching out. Like, he knew I'd been thinking about him, and he was popping in to say, I'm here.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
The power of social media, how neat is that? Well, 3 to know before you go on your Tuesday. Elon Musk says he'll commit to leading Tesla for the next 5 years. His comments coming after some investors have questioned his dedication to the EV maker. Musk has been leading the Department of Government Efficiency, but he said he wants to keep his position as Tesla's CEO to maintain control over the company, saying he wants to have, quote, sufficient voting control so he can't be ousted by activist investors. Musk also says he plans to cut back political spending, saying he no longer sees a need to continue. Now, Subaru says it's adjusted the sales price of vehicles sold in the U.S. to, quote, offset increased costs. In a statement, the Japanese automaker said the price change is in response to current market conditions, but did not directly link the changes to tariffs. While Subaru did not confirm the exact dollar amount of its price changes, a Massachusetts Subaru dealership posted on its website that prices would rise as much as $2,000 depending on the vehicle model. Finally, every single dog deserves a second chance, and today we honor that hope with National Dog Rescue Day. Each year, millions of dogs enter shelters after being rescued from abuse, neglect, and abandonment. And that's where they wait, hoping someone will see their worth and give them the forever home they deserve. So if you're thinking about adding a furry family member to your home, consider a rescue today. Not only will you be changing their life for the better, you just might find they'll do the same for you. You can still celebrate National Rescue Dog Day, even if you're not quite ready to adopt, though. You can do that by volunteering at your local shelter or making a donation. You could also consider fostering a rescue dog. And Jen, I know we have several animal shelters that come on Studio 10 as well. Our shelters are full in Mobile and Baldwin counties.
That's exactly right, especially where you're in kitten season right now. So something to keep in mind for the little kittens out there. And we had 2 adorable adoptable puppies yesterday on Studio 10. So exactly, and they had a whole litter, so something to keep in mind. Let's go ahead and take a final look at your forecast and what I'm tracking out there. So heading into the rest of today, daytime highs are going to be maxing out upper 80s, lower 90s. Winds are breezy out of the southwest. That humidity is only on the rise. Although we're maxing out upper 80s, we're feeling more like the upper 90s. Taking a look at our futurecast, 20% chance for some of those showers to move through the Florida Panhandle or southern Baldwin County heading into this afternoon. Low chances for that. And then that cold front will move through overnight. Rain chances begin to move in after midnight. Still very spotty, maybe some isolated rumbles of thunder, and that'll only continue heading into tomorrow morning. But all of that clearing out by lunchtime, and then that dry air pushes in behind it. Here's what I'm tracking over the next 10 days. So we start to see that little dip in temperatures over the next few days in the wake of that cold front. But again, it's mainly going to be that dry air where we're starting to see some improvements. Spotty shower chances heading into Sunday and Memorial Day. We're keeping a close eye on that Memorial Day forecast. Higher rain chances currently later on in the evening. And also keep in mind, termites are swarming out there. Just make sure that you are turning off those exterior lights. That way they're not getting inside.
Shut my lights off last night. Thank you for that reminder. So if you can hang on tight today, it will be beautiful tomorrow. Thanks for joining both of us here on Fox 10 Midday. We'll see you at 3 o'clock.